Today we're talking about 5 things I've learned in the last 5 years of my real estate career. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben Robitaille. I'm a real estate agent in Simcoe County in Ontario. And today we're talking about the 5 things I've learned in the last 5 years of my real estate career. Now, if you're a fellow realtor, let me know in the comments maybe some things that you've come across over the course of your career that maybe you didn't expect when you jumped into this crazy business. And we've had a lot of new subscribers recently, so if there's something you want to see on this channel, we're still relatively young, so I'm happy to cater it a little bit more to what you folks want to see. So comment down below, let me know the kind of content you want to see. Do you want to see more market stats, market research stuff? Do you want to see more home maintenance, combination of everything, more listings? You let me know, happy to accommodate. So jumping in at number 1, no 2 deals I've ever done over the last 5 years have been exactly the same. Now, I've been fortunate enough, I've done a significant amount of deals over the last 5 years, and I think I kind of lucked out with my very first deal because my very first deal was very cookie cutter, what you would expect in a normal market. I had the buyers, we went in with an offer, I had a condition of financing and home inspection, we fulfilled both conditions, the house firmed up, closed, no real hiccups, issues, or anything like that to contend with. Now, since then, I've helped both buyers and sellers, and usually there's some kind of, I won't say problem, but some kind of hurdle to overcome in order to get the deal done, whether it's scheduling conflicts for inspections, or can't get a hold of the mortgage broker, or the financing is taking a little bit longer than we thought, or the buyers are having trouble getting the deposit in for a number of reasons. Every deal I do comes with its own set of hurdles to overcome, and that's just part of the business. That's just things that happen. I think the expression, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. The more prepared you are as a buyer or seller, the more you can avoid these conflicts after the deal is signed and you've got to do all these tasks in order to firm it up. But as a realtor, I'm just here to do whatever I can to facilitate what's best for you as a client. And sometimes you've got to make a move before really all the ducks are in a row, and my job is to protect you as best as I can. The second thing I've learned in my career as a realtor is the market can change very, very quickly. Now, when I was a young whippersnapper doing my real estate courses, thinking, oh, we're talking about market and market trend and the laws of supply and demand, I thought these changes could take place over, 6 months, 8 months, a year. We'd really see these trends slowly start to develop. But working in a market that I'm working in, where there are pockets of the market that are so small and so microscopic that it's hard to pull out a pattern over a certain time period, it really feels like the market can change on a month-to-month, even week-to-week basis. For example, February and March of this year looked like the spring market was going to pick up and really take off. The number of sales was steady, the number of listings was steady, and none of them were really outpacing the other. But then April comes around and the number of listings start to take off, but the number of sales stay the same. So all of a sudden we've got a lot more supply, but the demand hasn't changed. And while we're not full-blown buyer's market as a generalization across my market area, it is moving into that balanced territory. But the thing that's even crazier about the whole situation is you dive into certain segments of it, like if you dive into Midland, it's still in seller's market territory where the number of listings and sales are still very competitive with each other. But then you dive into certain markets in tiny and there's 7-8 months of inventory in what I would consider a full-blown buyer's market. But sellers, because of the general big picture that's going on, aren't dropping those prices. So the sales just aren't happening. But this has really all developed over the last month or so. And by the end of May, we'll see what happens again. Maybe we'll start moving in the other direction. Maybe we'll go further into balanced buyer's territory. Really, only time will tell. And knowing the market can change so quickly is something I really like to push and let my clients know is true. A lot of realtors will come on and say, oh, this is what's going to happen for sure in the next year. And you can't. We can make our best predictions, sure, based on past data of what we think is going to happen. But until it actually happens, there's no way to really know with any kind of certainty what's going to happen in the market. People kept saying this year, oh, when the interest rate gets cut, the market's going to take off. Well, the interest rate has yet to be cut. And if it does get cut, is it going to bring demand up so high that we start outpacing the listings of the last month? I don't know. It might come close, which would bring us back closer to seller's territory. Could outweigh it, bringing us back into a full-blown seller's market. Or it might have such a small impact that we stay the way we are. Even if the rates get cut, houses are still expensive. I'm off on a tangent here, but moral of the story, the market can change very, very quickly. The third thing I learned, and this is maybe a rookie mistake in real estate, but the house isn't sold until it's a firm deal. What do I mean by that? In a typical market, when you write an offer, usually for a buyer, you'll put in a condition of a home inspection and a condition of financing, giving yourself a certain amount of time to go ahead and make sure the bank is going to give you the money for the house so you have a mortgage to close on closing day, and that the house isn't falling apart and you're not going to have to spend $50,000, $60,000 putting it back together before you even move in. The number of things that can go wrong from the moment a conditional offer is accepted to the time it's firmed up is enormous. So as a realtor, do not go spending your commission check that you haven't received yet until your offer is firm. And even then, wait until the house closes, because I haven't personally had anything go wrong after an offer is firmed up, but I've seen cases in the industry where an offer gets firmed, the buyer gets cold feet, they try and pull out, there's issues with closing day. Either way, see the transaction through to close before you start counting your chickens. The fourth thing I've learned is no two realtors are the same. And I mean this in a lot of different ways. There are a lot of really, really good realtors out there. And for the most part, every realtor I've had to work with on a deal has had the best interests of the clients at heart. But the way they do business is a little bit differently. The way they like to handle offers is a little bit different. The way they negotiate is a little bit different. I've had realtors where they want to talk on the phone for all the negotiations, and that's great. You actually get to connect with the other person on the other side. I like doing that. Although there are some realtors that like to negotiate purely through email, purely through text. And while as realtors, there's no set way to do it, at the end of the day, you've just got to do what works best for your client. Now, if you're a consumer out there thinking about hiring a realtor, the same kind of thing applies. You want to work with somebody who you're going to connect with. That might not be me. That might be the guy down the street. And that's okay, because the market is so saturated with realtors. You have tons of options out there. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with meeting with people, seeing who you connect with, and then make a decision from there. My personal philosophy is no one should be pressured into signing paperwork or doing anything like that without having all the information. Moral of the story, there's lots of options in the market. Do what works best for you. Now, the last thing I want to touch on, and I think it's a pretty important thing, especially if you're someone thinking about getting your license, or you're a consumer looking at realtors saying, oh, what do they really do? When I first got into the industry, I had this, perception of realtors of like what you see on TV, like a $1 million listing, like whatever the shows are. I thought basically you showed up, nice fancy suit, sold the house, collected this big commission check, and it really wasn't that difficult. Now, I was wrong for a number of reasons. And the first big reason is selling a house isn't always a happy thing. Sure, there are the people who, maybe bought an investment property, now they're looking to cash in and they're all excited because they're going to make tons and tons of money on, this investment they made. Or, somebody's looking to upsize or downsize, and, while it can still be an emotional process, it's overall a happy thing. But then there's the divorce listings, the estate sales, the people who are afraid to lose their home because they're refinancing and they can't afford their payment anymore. It's not always a happy thing. And I think as agents, what it really boils down to is being a normal, decent human being. When I first got my license, I used to walk into listing appointments thinking about, like the commission check and the money. And like, that's all secondary behind the situation that the person is going through. Well, yes, I need to, make money to pay my bills, support my family, raise my 4-week-old, which is why I look like this, just by the way. But none of that matters if the people you're serving aren't taken care of. So I've really changed my attitude when I walk into a listing appointment now. Yes, I take a look at the house and everything and do the work I have to do, but I also try and do my best to understand the person's personal situation. And even though there might be these heightened emotional responses, really make sure that they understand everything that's going on so that they can make the best decision that works for them. At the end of the day, do what's right for your clients. Full stop. Well, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you stuck around this far, thank you so much. Please consider hitting that like button. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I put out a real estate video every week, and we'd love to have you on the channel. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you in the next one.